Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is my last and final update in my Operation Get My Body Back series. So we have done 16 weeks of dieting and I'm finally done, and I'm basically in this video going to give you guys my final weigh-in, my final measurements, a physique update, and then a summary of what I have been doing the last 16 weeks, and also just filling you in on what I am going to be doing going forward. So guys, we'll start with weight. As of this morning, I weighed 59.8 kilograms. I started at 68.7 kilograms, which means I have lost a total of 8.9 kilograms in the past 16 weeks, which works out roughly 0.5 of a kilogram per week. So that's really nice, steady weight loss. Then in terms of my body fat percentage, I started at 29.6% and today it was 24.5%, which means I've lost a total of 5.1% body fat. So then in terms of my measurements, I am going to pop them up on the screen now. So I will put week 1 versus today so that you can see the difference. Now I did also do my measurements at the end of week 8, so when we were halfway through. So if you do want to go back to that video, it is linked in the description box, just so that you can see how I've got on compared to the first half of my diet to the second half of my diet. The one thing I will say that I've noticed is my upper body, so my arm, my chest and my belly have all been pretty steady in terms of measurements on where it has come off. It's been quite a gradual loss throughout, whereas my bum and my thighs, I have definitely lost more from week 8 to week 16. And I think I've spoken to you guys about this before, but I do hold most of my weight in my lower body, so in my bum and my legs, as opposed to my upper body. And just from looking at my measurements, it is very, very clear that that is where is more stubborn, because weeks 1 to 8, I didn't really lose that much off my bum and my legs, whereas from week 8 to week 16, I've lost a lot more than I did in the first half of this diet. So that is why it's really important to take your measurements so that you can see where all your weight is coming off, and it does help to keep you motivated, knowing, right, it's coming off from here, and then now obviously I've been able to see, right, it is speeding up coming off from my lower half of my body. So overall, throughout the whole of the 16 weeks, it's been very, very gradual, and it's pretty much come off from everywhere at a similar sort of pace, but it's definitely started to come off quicker off my lower body from the last 8 weeks than it did the first 8 weeks. So then guys, in terms of my physique, I will insert a clip now showing you how I am looking. If you have not watched episode 1 of this series, I would go back and watch it and watch my physique update in that, just so that you can compare and see the difference between the two. Honestly guys, I don't think you can see the difference as much on camera as you possibly can in person, or as much as I can tell. I can definitely tell that I have lost a lot of weight compared to how I was in the beginning. I can definitely see the difference. Yes, don't get me wrong, I still want to improve on where I am right now, but I'm so happy with how I'm looking, particularly around my belly. That was the main area that I wanted to lose weight from, and I can definitely tell, and I definitely feel better for it. I feel more confident, I feel like I'm looking better, I just generally feel better in myself. I'm fitting back into clothes that I wore before I was pregnant, so I'm very happy with how I'm looking, especially considering that I only had Kaya 6 months ago. So I am really happy with how I'm looking. Yes, my body composition is completely different to how it was before I was pregnant. That is to be expected. I have lost muscle, and muscle isn't easy to build. It doesn't come back quickly, so I will continue to work on building more muscle to get back to where I was exactly before I was pregnant. But yeah, I am really happy. So I just want to also touch on food very quickly. I started off eating 2,500 calories per day. So that was my maintenance when we started this. I don't currently know what my maintenance is now. That's what I'm going to be kind of refiguring out the next couple of weeks. So I will do another video just to update you guys on that and refinding out my maintenance and how to come out of a diet, because that is also very important, so keep an eye out for that video. So I've ended this having 4 high days at 2,300 calories and 3 low days of 1,800 calories. So that's just where you can see in comparison to where I started to where I've finished food wise. I've kept my protein the same throughout, so roughly 150 grams to 170 grams of protein a day. Anywhere within that range is where I aim for my protein, and then I just get carbs and fats from the rest of my food. However, I'm not too picky on whether I have higher fat or lower fat, or higher carbs or lower carbs. I just kind of balance it out as I go. Protein and calories are the only ones that I focus on. So I've kept that throughout. That's not changed. Obviously, as my calories have got less, then I've just been having less carbs or less fats, depending on the day. So that's what I've done with my food. I've continued to make sure that I'm drinking plenty and plenty of water. I have increased that as I've gone, and that is pretty much it in terms of food. What I've been eating is pretty much the same, just slightly smaller quantities. Like I said to you guys in my last video, on my lower days, because it's not that many calories for me, then I have been fasting, so not having my first meal till about 1 o'clock, and then having most of my food between 1 and about 8 p.m. So I eat within that window. I've just been doing that on my lower days, just because it stops me feeling really hungry throughout the day or having to spread my meals out a lot. I prefer to have bigger meals and less of them. So that's what I've been doing on my lower days as I've progressed throughout, and it has definitely helped with me not feeling quite as hungry. What is she doing with this foot? It's definitely helped me not feel as hungry on my lower days, and just generally have more energy throughout my day. So that's what I've been doing there. No, that's not for everyone. Don't do it if you don't want to. I'm just letting you guys know what I've been doing on my lower days just to help me get through them, because particularly the last 4 weeks I have been hungry, especially on those lower days. So that's what I've been doing there, and I think that's pretty much it in terms of food, really. So then in terms of exercise, I have been going to the gym 4 days a week to do weight training sessions. I've just been following a program that I've written myself, so I've been doing 4 weight training days, and then I've been going on a 5th day and doing 10 minutes of either cardio or HIIT training, followed by some abs. And then at the end of my 4 weight training sessions, I've also been doing either steps on the Stairmaster or some sprints on the treadmill. Now, I've only started doing sprints on the treadmill the past kind of 2 to 3 weeks, just because I now feel like I'm able to, and that my body has recovered enough from having Kaya to do them. If you have not long had a baby, high impact stuff like sprinting, I would definitely not recommend. So it's only the last kind of 2 or 3 weeks that I have started adding them in, just because I feel like I can do them now and I feel comfortable doing them now. So just bear that in mind. If you are postpartum, don't suddenly start sprinting. I've only started doing it when I reached 6 months postpartum, so just be careful there. And then on top of my normal training, I've also been doing my steps. Now, if you've watched the whole of this series, you'll know that I've been slowly increasing my steps. I started between 5,000 to 6,000 steps a day. I am now anywhere between 10,000 to 14,000 steps a day. So 10,000 is around my minimum. If I'm having a really good day, it's 14,000. Generally, it's about 12,000 is kind of where I average at. But anywhere within that range is basically where I finish in each day now. So I have pretty much doubled my activity in a day. And guys, I literally just go out and walk. That is it. I take Kaya in the pram, we go out for a walk. Sometimes she naps, sometimes she doesn't. And that is pretty much all I've been doing in terms of hitting my steps. I've not been going to the gym to walk on the treadmill or anything like that. I've just been trying to get that activity generally throughout my day, and I have managed to double it within the 16 weeks. So that's where I am stepwise, and I'm going to be keeping my steps there, just to make sure I'm out, moving, I'm active during my day. So anywhere between 10 to 14 is where I have been averaging stepwise, and that is on top of any of my gym workouts and stuff that I've been doing in the gym. So guys, I do think that is pretty much it. The only thing that I would like to very quickly add is that throughout the whole of the 16 weeks, I have still been breastfeeding Kaya, and my diet has not affected my milk supply. I still produce plenty of milk for Kaya, and I do think a massive part of that is that I have not done anything drastic on this diet. So I've just been gradually increasing my exercise and my activity, and gradually reducing the amount of food I've been eating. I've not done anything drastic at all. I've not been eating or drinking anything special. I know there's all these weird and wonderful things that you can eat that apparently increase your milk supply. I've not been doing any of that. I've just been eating whole natural foods, making sure I drink plenty of water, and my milk supply has been absolutely fine, even though I have obviously lost a lot of weight and lost some body fat. So just wanted to throw that in there because it is something that I mentioned at the start that I wasn't sure about, and I wasn't sure at all. I didn't know how my milk supply would go throughout, but I would just like to let you all know that it has been absolutely fine and dieting has not impacted it at all, and I would literally put that down to the fact that I've not done anything drastic. So yeah, I think that is pretty much it. I don't know what she is doing. What are you doing? Going forward, the next couple of weeks I'm going to be refinding my maintenance. It is obviously going to be less than where I started at because my starting maintenance calories was for the weight that I was at the start. So my new weight, I would have lower maintenance calories obviously in comparison. So I'm just going to be refinding that, figuring out roughly where I am again, and then I'm for now just going to be maintaining my weight here, trying to build a little bit more muscle and focusing more on changing my body composition as opposed to dramatically losing any more weight. I'm pretty happy with where I am weight wise. If it goes up and down a little bit, I'm not too bothered now, but I am now more focused on changing my body composition, so trying to increase the amount of muscle I've got and drop a little bit more body fat, and that is pretty much it. I am going to do another video in a couple of weeks just explaining a bit more to you guys about what you should do when you're coming out of a diet, because it is really important that you don't go crazy, and also you don't want to be staying at the calories that you're at now. So it is really important how you come out of your diet as well. So I will do a video on that, so please keep an eye out. But for now, that is everything. I hope you have enjoyed this series. Any questions at all, please leave me a comment down below. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Say bye!